Sorry about that. Um, a bit of glitching. My computer can barely handle the amazing special effects our team made for us. But we're live, and I think the sound is okay. I'm just double checking it's not clipping. As you can see, my eyes are racing to check all the stats. But yeah, cool topic today. Cool topic today. I'll sit for a little bit. Um, and we'll sit and kind of just chat and see if some people tune in initially, give people a chance to start watching, um, let people um, look for us and find us, right? But the topic is, once again, we're talking Al Marjan. I'm sorry. I wish it was less repetitive, but this is the area booming right now. This is where the biggest launches this month gonna be, right? Al Marjan Island is a very cool development. Once again, it's in Ras Al Khaimah, the northernmost emirate. And I just gonna talk about like my personal experience with Ras Al Khaimah and with the emirate. Before we get started, I just gonna do that, and I think that only makes sense. Um, Let me just set up my analytics. Um, anyway, me and our team are kind of um, are now tracking the messages as well, so you can pre-ask some questions. As I'm checking now, there's nobody saying anything. Maybe there will be somebody on Instagram or so, but yeah. So this is one which was denied for the longest time, right? For the longest time, they denied the residences going to be built in Ras Al Khaimah, and possibly they didn't plan for it. Possibly they planned to just build a hotel, but they managed to expand the plot, or maybe they realized it's better money. But honestly, I was in Ras Al Khaimah even before summer, and I've seen a massive billboard that address building gonna be here because they have to list all that once they start the building site. So some preparation has already started there for a while. For now, they've done a lot. I assume we've preparing the soil and maybe even driving some piles into the ground so they can take off building faster. But yeah, it's still going to take a while because it's a huge development. It's a huge complex, and it's based in Ras Al Khaimah, so it's about hour and a half drive from Dubai, which, depending on where you're from, it can be a little far or not far at all. It's one of those artificial islands. This one is in a weird shape, not the shape of something specific, although they say those are corals or seahorse, but I can't see either in that. It's just in a nice, cool shape, which really optimizes the area of the beach and maximizes the amount of beachfront properties, which is the valuable ones there, because, well, why else would you go to artificial island if you cannot go beachfront? Anyway, the Ras Al Khaimah itself is a very different emirate. First of all, it's the last one to join the Union in United Arab Emirates, which is interesting fact to know, especially with Emirates Day quickly approaching. But they've been always considered the quiet ones, right? So I wouldn't say that a lot of stuff is happening there, right? Some stuff is happening, but not. It's never been a lot, but lately they improving on their tourism and they finding it very important for themselves to really develop their tourism as an industry. Because right now it's home to the best ceramics production for mostly the ceramics you'll find in the bathroom, like sinks, urinals, toilet bowls. They're made in Ras Al Khaimah. They have their own factory, rock ceramics, and it's very good actually. The quality is nice and the price is very attractive. The other one they're doing is they grow a lot of figs historically, and they used to be the richest Emirates historically because they used to be the port before Dubai overtook them on that front. So if you come back to 18th, 19th century, you'll come into this territory. Ras Al Khaimah would be the richest one. Right now, they're developing their active tourism, so there's a lot of destinations for cycling. It's home towards longest zip line. It's a home to the tallest mountain in UAE, where this zip line is situated. A lot of nice mountain roads. You can always go into the mountains and get some elevation to get some rest from the heat, especially when it's coming closer towards the summer or in the summer. It's invaluable. It's actually a really good option to have, where with Dubai you need to drive for quite a while before you get to anything mountainous. So that's a cool bit. But let me see if we're getting a little bit more of people. And I've been droning long enough, I guess, for us to get started. Yeah, so honestly, Ras Al Khaimah is very different, is very special within the Emirates, and a bit more heritage there been preserved, and you can see many more older villages, old abandoned forts, all of that stuff. So if you like feeling the local culture and feeling that the local culture exists, right, and interact with it, explore it, Ras Al Khaimah is actually a really cool option for you, because they naturally managed to preserve a lot of stuff there, right? Where other Emirates in their building booms weren't as lucky, weren't as able to preserve as much stuff, and just climatically they have stronger winds up south, higher heat, less things get preserved over time there, right? So Ras Al Khaimah is just, from the sense of climate, is luckier. And the last point is, sea is so much better in Ras Al Khaimah. I honestly never go to a beach in Dubai. If I'm in Ras Al Khaimah, I have to stop by some beach and just go for a quick swim. I can't really avoid that ever, right? Anyway. Let me restart something, because I feel like we're not catching up with stream correctly, right? Let me see what's going on there. Yep. Yeah, I had a glitch on which shows that we're still in a countdown. Yeah. Let's go and see the topic, why we're really here. So it's Address Al Marjan Island. This is what's important. This is what's cool. Is the address is a part of EMAAR brands, so it will be built, developed. It will be managed by EMAAR, and EMAAR only manages properties in Dubai. And I think they have a single property, address property in Fujairah, right? So all that is really cool. with that, we're looking into the Address. So Address are luxury hotel chain. So Address is luxury division, right? And it's the highest end hotels, I think, they're doing under the EMAAR umbrella of brands. They also have Vida hotels, so you might be aware of them. They have the Palace hotels, which are, I think, one step below Address. Vida, I think, is more of conventional hotel with no residences in most cases, although there are Vida residences in Dubai Creek, in Creek Beachfront. But anyway, so Al Marjan Island, once again, I talked about it, but it's in Ras Al Khaimah. It's consistent, it's archipelago, connected by bridges, 4 unique islands. We are talking currently about the View Island. View Island is the largest, is the centerpiece island, and that's where the Address will be, obviously. Address, every time they build an Address hotel, it's in the most prime location of the area, right? EMAAR always ensures that location on Address hotels is incredible, right? So you can see here that it's quite ways off of Dubai. Not gonna lie, I decided to include this map to just let you see the proportions and the distance. So it's 120, 150 kilometers away, if I'm not mistaken. I think somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll see. So within the Al Marjan Island itself, you see it's in Views Island, I think. I keep confusing the islands anyway. You see the location. The location looks out into the sea with some island views and some shoreline views, so not just open sea from every angle, which is also good because not everybody is into that kind of view. But once again, easy access to neighboring islands, and the island to the right of it is the one where you will have casino, the one which is at the very end. So you have decent access to the casino, you have decent access to the land. It's kind of the mid-ground once again. Address are really good at picking the best locations. They're really, EMAAR just shines at putting Address at where it's happening. So, and partially it is because of Address is part of things happening always. Address is home to some of the best restaurants in Dubai, some of my favorite restaurants like Kersata. It's home to some of the best views in Dubai. It's next to everything fun. Honestly, whenever you're going somewhere and it's a kind of premium, luxury stuff, luxury activities, you will probably see a Address logo in Dubai. So, I'm sorry, the design was generated by AI. So, our luxury waterfront apartments and townhouses became igloos. I don't mind. I actually like it. I think AI made a good one here. So, yeah. So altogether, 161 units, 1 to 4 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms are the penthouses. Very few of those. So if you're looking for a lot of bedrooms, you better call us now, like literally now. Write in the chat here that you need it now. I'll probably stop the stream and start working on your order because that's the only way we're making it, okay? The rest is a bit more achievable. You'll see the amount of units for each type of things, and within those layouts, there's also townhouses. So the cool thing is they're offering townhouses, unfortunately without their own access to the beach. So you'll have to share a beach with hotel and residences, which kind of makes it not as fun, not as cool, but still pretty cool, to be fair. Mm, yeah, the location is the View Island. They call it the centerpiece of Al Marjan. It is centerpiece, right? It's in the center. It's a piece in the center. So, yeah, it's where everything gonna be happening, I assume. But we'll see. While it's developing, those specifics are very hard to judge, and I still don't feel comfortable saying that I can judge them perfectly. But what I see is EMAAR is really good at judging them perfectly, so I kind of follow their direction and I just kind of trust them on that. Yeah, so it's developed by EMAAR, and I keep saying EMAAR, 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 EMAAR. Why I'm saying that? Because honestly, not a big fan of rack properties, not a big fan of local developers in Ras Al Khaimah because they haven't dealt with the quality and the demand you encounter in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, and they're less experienced, right? So with them, there's more questions to their ability to deliver up to standard. There's more worries in my mind, where with EMAAR, I live in a EMAAR building, and a lot of people I know live in EMAAR buildings. People who I know who don't live in EMAAR buildings would like to live in a EMAAR building. Unless they're living in something super premium, they would want to live in a EMAAR building. Once again, super important to understand. EMAAR is probably the most reputable developer in UAE. Possibly, they claim in the world, but I would say they're definitely the only large developer with almost flawless track record in Dubai, right? Amount of things they deliver on time, amount of things they deliver to high standard. We oversaw a number of EMAAR deliveries, and once again, every time it was just minor changes. Once we had a couple issues there, but they were resolved very fast. They were resolved very well. It was at the point of like, yeah, come in with us. Let's go through the apartment view. If you notice something, they will throw everything they've got to do to fix it as fast as possible, because it's in their best interest as well to deliver fast. Anyway, here's the master plan. First of all, I'm covering most of it with my ugly mug, but realistically, we will go more in depth into that later on when we delve into analytics of floor plans. Before that, we will look into what buildings are going to be available and which parts of those buildings we would want. So when we're looking at that layout, what we need to understand is the idea of how big it is, how huge it is, because it's over 1 kilometer wide, right? So if you're in those villas on the edges, it will take you a while to walk to the hotel if you want a hotel services. But then once again, they're gonna have golf buggies, but that's the thing. You get the good gradient here for your own preference. Do you prefer to be further away from all the kind of restaurants, tourists, and the noise? And if you go in the far corner, you'll probably never see a tourist in your stay there. If you get closer to a hotel, you constantly be in the center of things happening. If that's what you prefer, that would be your choice. That's the general gist of it, right? Ooh, yep. Some images of that. So it's a fairly standard EMAAR design. Obviously, being Address building, it's non-standard. It's still going to be architecturally designed specifically for a task at hand. That's one of the biggest differences we've addressed compared to standard EMAAR building is they all feature unique designs and they always stand out in the area. They always look good. Quite frankly, my favorite building in Dubai is the Address Skyviews building. I believe it's the best looking building in Dubai, fully subjectively, but nonetheless, whenever you ask people what are the buildings they find really good looking in Dubai, really cool looking, within the set of their answers, you will almost always find an Address building, right? They partner with really good architects at every building, and every building is very different and looks right at home where they are. Once again, that's the kind of design mood board, so gonna be very kind of light, modern Mediterranean style finish with some nice textured textiles, with some natural stone, some wooden finishes. So they say it's a timber lock joinery, some tinted glass as well. So I think here they're going for a more contemporary, more minimalist look than they usually even do, which is good because it's just on the beachfront, right? You want lighter colors, you want this kind of beachfront aesthetics. Most of the people at least want it. I don't know many people who go for beachfront and go for all black apartments. People who would go for that would usually go for downtown locations, right? So once again, the other big thing about Address, hotel services and incredible amenities. Here are just some few of them. So if you're into padel, for example, I do judge you, but we've got spaces for that, and for yoga, you're gonna have a few outstanding restaurants guaranteed in the area. Let me check with my people. Yeah, not necessarily any questions yet coming from people on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, but feel free to ask questions. We'll do Q&A specifically at the end if you're watching, right? But even now, we're going to be doing, I'm happy to answer questions if you're not understanding something, if something's confusing. But once again, they're going to have the whole kayaking and dive center thing. With that, I need to mention that sea in Ras Al Khaimah is much nicer. So this kayaking, this water sports kind of area, it's such a smart addition compared to other things they would do. It's the one which will always be booked out. Like once again, you get all the standard of fitness center, you get in all the standard pools, and you're probably gonna get a really cool designer pool. Once again, guys, the quality of the amenities here is absolutely next level. If you ever lived in Address, if you ever stayed in Address, you know exactly what I'm saying. If you didn't, make yourself a favor, give yourself a present, stay in one of Address hotels once. Otherwise, they're also gonna have spa, everything you would. Oh, we have things glitching out a little, but yeah, everything you would expect from absolute top grade hotels, they will have, because it is a top grade hotel, it's top grade resort, and those are just residences situated in their territory, right? We can later on open the brochure and go specifically step by step if somebody really needs it, but I think that's when you're making specific choices. Um, so here's the important bit. Let me do one thing. I became smaller. Unfortunately, I don't have the squeaky voice effect. But yeah, this is the pricing. It's obviously guide pricing, and you need to understand that some of those prices gonna be much higher what listed, right? So we start, one bedroom start at 500,000. But if you want high floor, bigger floor area, and seafront views, add at least 20-30% on top of that, you'll get your price, right? This is kind of gist of it. Otherwise, as you can tell, pricing is relatively low for this grade of development in Dubai, but it's very high for Ras Al Khaimah. Once again, you pay a huge premium per square foot for apartments, and obviously you pay more per square foot for townhouses. But townhouses has their own drive-in access, their own grand arrival experience, so they're increasingly cool townhouses. It's just a question of, are they justified without their own beach access, right? Without their own little sliver of beachfront, where Oceano townhouses, you would get exactly that. You walk out of your backyard onto the beach directly. This is what Oceano townhouses offer. Unfortunately, Address doesn't offer that. On the other hand, Address offers you much better amenities, so once again, those are the judgments we're making, right? And I believe amenities and being next to all the restaurants they're going to attract, all the business, EMAAR always succeeds to attract to their venues. It's going to benefit greatly every investor here, right? I don't think those prices are ever going to be lower because, once again, it's beachfront property. It's unobstructed sea views. It's never going to be obstructed because, well, there's nowhere else to build in front of it. And they're right next to where casino going to be. And the most important bit is we can see there's the payment plan structure. So once again, handover early 2028. And this one is pretty simple. It's just 10% every time, right? In relatively equal intervals, you pay 10%, and the last 10% you pay on delivery. So it's not the best payment plan as far as deals go, but I believe it's fair and it's reasonable for people who want to manage their cash flow. So with payment plan, nothing revolutionary. Days when you could buy Address with post-handover payment plan are gone, are long gone. I think last time you could do that was a couple years ago, maybe. Nowadays, you don't really do that. Nowadays, it's not an option you're gonna have. Let's see if I've done anything else. Nope. That's all I've done with the preparation I've seen. But now the important part is the let's start looking at the layouts, right? If you look into the layouts now, you will need full screen access because it's a lot going on here. But as you can tell, I made it as large as I possibly could. And I'll be looking into that. I wish I would keep more eye contact with the camera, but I need to look into that because I can't memorize it either. Let's go from the numbers on the right. So numbers 1 to 6, residences, right? You can see 3 buildings each side are the residence buildings. I think after tomorrow they just launch in the building 1 because that's what we've got floor plans for. I will double check my files, but I think that it is only one. Let me just confirm. Yep, only building 1 is available in floor plans, which means for us that we're only launching building 1, so only one of 4 penthouses will be launched. I'm pretty sure it will have the penthouse because the buildings 1 and 4 seem to have the most occasion to them. They are closest to all the amenities. They're probably going to be the most expensive and most sought after in the future. So once again, do keep in mind, it's very important to consider to which extent the specific parts of the property are going to be sought after. And you can tell they're all going to have incredible sea views overlooking the pools. But looking at the layout, there's a lot of pools. There's 2 fitness centers. There's 2 children's centers. So each side of the hotel will be fully self-contained, right? Although you could access either side, and let's say you come to your usual gym and you see there's too many people, you can always stroll across the property and see if other gym is a little emptier. If you can't book the padel course next to your building, you can book one further away. So once again, only benefits here, no downsides. But once again, building 1 is the noisier thing. It will be right next to the hotel, as you can tell. And right next to it, I think you see under number 9, there are townhouses spread in 4 sections across the whole area in between the buildings. So I think they're going to launch all the townhouses we see left of the building as well. Once again, you'll have 2 smaller pools instead of 1 larger closer to you, but you can access either. You will probably have beach access reserved just for residences users off to the left, and the hotel guests won't be able to use the beach, which is reserved for residences. So that's a good thing as well. This is a very important thing. And once again, a very cool thing here is that the kind of beach and the pool infrastructure are close by. So you don't need to choose and pick and choose. They kind of accumulated all in one place. And once again, you see how they made the kids clubs, kids play areas, where they also, I think, have staff available to look after your kids. Very close by to the beach, so you can go and rest in the beach and let kids roam and annoy someone else, right? Otherwise, you see everything facing the sea, facing the beach is what we want. Everything not facing the beach is what we don't want. Direction of the direction we have of the of the buildings is very simple here. There's no subtleties. Just simple as that. Just look towards the beach, try to get higher floor. All there is to it. So let's see if they have any 1 bedrooms with good views, because not many people do. Not many developers end up including those. But once again, we're looking after building 1, but honestly, if you want any other building, should be calling us right now, and we'll be waiting for next launch because it will be soon. First building launches about what, 30, 40 hours from now, and we're 50, 60 hours away from it being sold out completely. So I don't like to do that pressure selling, but here I'm trying to get through to the markets and to the customers who are not familiar with local markets. Unfortunately, demand is now at the level where you don't get to choose, take your time choosing. You need to prepare for all the launches and know if you want it or not by then. By the time they launch the sales, you need to know if you're buying or not. That's why I'm doing those live streams immediately as soon as I get the information. That's why I'm trying to get information out there as fast as possible. It will be all available to view later on as well. So let's go into the floor plans because that's the important part. Let me see. We're on to floor plans. So starting with one bedroom type 1. Once again, let me move myself out somewhere else. I'll need to redo the layout for that a little to let you guys see better. Yeah, I think that's much better. Yeah. So this one is looking towards the back, towards the road, towards the community view as they call it. Once again, maybe somebody in the chat will explain to me why would you pick this view. I wouldn't. I simply wouldn't. I don't like it. I'm not sure why would you want a beachfront, as you can hear the sea, but you cannot see the sea. Kinda, not great. Once again, yeah, this one is kind of mid-level floor area. Type 1A is same but mirrored. Once again, same comments. And looking into that, I think you have a window view out of your shower cabin though. If it was a sea view, I would understand, but why would you want a shower looking at the road? I'm sorry. I'm confused and worried. Very much. Guys, I know it's very cool, but you'll end up tinting the window. You'll end up probably putting some kind of foggy sticker on top of it. One bedroom type 2. So those are level 2, small balcony. All the same, but also got a tiny balcony. So once again, 2A, mirrored. So here's the type 3. To put it simply, I believe this is the best layout. It's the one which makes the most sense. It even comes with some kind of a walk-in wardrobe with large patio. This is the one I would recommend if you want to save and have a apartment facing the road. As you can see, all one bedrooms on lower levels, they would face the road, which only makes sense because those are going to be the cheapest apartments. You don't want to be putting an expensive multi-bedroom apartment, which will end up expensive anyway, on a low floor overlooking the road. Once again, all the same but smaller balcony. Not necessarily making all that much difference. Type 4, and once again, so we can tell from the look of it that, as you can tell, they highlight the floors. All the floors, those units gonna be the same at every floor. So higher up floors, actually, you're gonna get community views. You're probably gonna be seeing other from 17th floor, you definitely will be seeing other buildings, and once the area is built up, it's going to be a great, incredible view. But before it's built up, it's not going to be the most inspiring look. Now we're coming into kind of a tricky one here. It's a tricky one. Because as you look at this one, it's you can see that it has windows on 3 sides. So your main, what we see as the top is facing the hotel. So you're seeing the amenities, you're seeing the crowd. On the lower levels, I'm not sure if it's good, but once again, you're overseeing the podium as well, which also is a questionable thing on the lower levels. So, very tough there. Once again, the side off to the right is going to be looking towards the road, but there will be massive gardens as we looked before. Looking back at that plan, it's kind of overlooking gym and padel court, so it's not necessarily a terrible view or a bad view. It's just not incredible view. It's just going to be okay. And honestly, if you're looking this way, I would rather drop down a few floors, especially if you're going to use it early on in the apartment's lifetime. Later on in the apartment's lifetime, when it's built up, higher floors are actually going to have better views. Initially, on a point of sale, if you want to sell it as it delivers, for example, in some cases, you want lower floors with the views towards the road, towards the community views. Keep the lower floors. This way you're closer to greenery. It feels nicer. Because area built up by EMAAR going to be amazing. Outside of that, we cannot guarantee anything, right? And you see, but the good thing about this apartment, really good thing, is this balcony. Balcony got the sea view. Balcony got the sea view, so they managed to have a side apartment, which is definitely going to be cheaper, but if you only want a sea view, sometimes when you, let's say, having coffee, it's important for you to see the sea, but you don't need to see it out of every window. Could be a good option for you. Honestly, good option. I think this one will be the best price to quality ratio. Once again, all the way up, those bedrooms will look the same, right? So higher up we go, more sense the top of this apartment kind of windows make, the less sense the right of the apartment windows make, and on every floor off to the left the balcony is the perfect spot. Once again, This one recommended if you're after certain goals. I believe those are actually going to be a good investment. Um, this one, don't have to talk through it, but essentially the same thing, but mirrored. It's 2 bedroom again, walk-in closets. What I love really about this layout is a massive storeroom. You think you don't need storage, you need storage. There's never enough storage in your apartment. You'll always have stuff to put in there. You will end up with, like, I don't know, your paddleboard, you'll end up with your swimming stuff, with whatever kids' inflatables, whatever suitcase of things. Your wife's parents gonna live there because they're gonna come back and they don't want to travel with suitcases, so you're gonna store that for them, and this will fill up real quick. So this is a lot of valuable space, trust me. It's not wasted. Type 3 is the one on the second level. Yeah, second level. So just off the podium is the type 2. Type 3, 2 bedroom. Not much difference here. I assume it's slightly different in some terms of floor area. Let me see. Yeah, literally just slightly different balcony. Not much to it. It's type 2A, but called type 3. So this is the big ticket item, right? This is the important one. Every bedroom, living room, all sea view. Full width balcony. Once again, decent storage, surprisingly. Still, I thought we would miss out on that, but this one will be the most expensive. Just add a 30% on top of whatever was the quote for starting price. You'll get the price for that. Once again, it's an incredible one. This is a one I wouldn't even sell if I would be able to purchase. I would keep it for myself and rent it, just so I have this chance of having a full sea view in big entertainment district in the future when it's completed. I believe if you buy it as an investment, the main thing you will lose out on, you will not want to get rid of it. Same with type 5 coming up. No, we're talking 3 bedrooms. So this one is level 1, has massive patio. Once again, full sea views, but slightly broken up by the built-up area in front. Simply because you're gonna have trees, you're gonna have palms. So you're kind of gonna be, well, I think level 1 would be realistically equivalent of 4 floors of the ground. So you're just kind of brushing those tops of the trees just to block off enough of your view to make it just a little bit, just not perfect, right? Type 2 is same stuff, smaller balcony. So simple as that. Type 1 3 bedroom, preferable to type 2. All we know. And then we go with type 3. Oh. I'm trying to see the difference, right? Okay. So yeah, we got type 2 and type 3, which are not very different, but slightly different on level 1. So level 1 gives you less views, but gives you a lot of access to your having your own patio. And I assume if you get in 3 bedroom, you're gonna have always lots of people. So living room not gonna be enough. So you need this patio floor area. Practically speaking, it's expected at this price and at this amount of space. And the balcony is still all right, but it's not all bedrooms have access to it, and it's not full width. So you can tell it's a little bit less than others. Once again, type 4 is just higher floors. Here, and type 4A is mirrored to that. Here you can argue that those are better because they give you better view, because higher vantage point for sea view is just better every time. Higher you can get up, better it is until you hit the clouds. Then it starts getting worse, but we're quite far off that. So higher the floor, higher the price. I think the right balance is around floor 10, floor 9, right? Is the balance I would go for. So once again, so 3 bedroom type 4 and 4A on 10th and 9th floors is the ones I would go for. You might want to go for ones on the floor 1. Arguably, they could be better just simply by benefit of having massive patio space, right? Oh God, I need to do something about those graphics. They're a bit heavy on my computer. Or I just close at least half of our applications because I'm running Photoshop, Adobe Suite, and like 6 other applications at the same time, so no wonder. But yes, simply put, when we're looking through those, you see so much is up to your taste, is up to your own judgment. And I'm not sure, and honestly, which one will sell more at these levels, it just depends on who's going to be looking for apartment, right? If the guy who values patio more will be looking into apartment exact moment you're selling, it will be that. If it will be the guy who prefers the views, it will be the higher up apartments. So coming back, yeah, you can tell. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't realize, but somebody mentioned I got color mesh cup. So yeah, 3 bedrooms there are 2 good options, but they all come with great views. And we're coming into penthouses. I can bet some money nobody who will buy one of those penthouses is watching this live stream, so this one is just purely exercise. But please prove me wrong. Oh. Oh. Yep. We've got camera issues. Um, so yeah. Um, Hi everyone. Unfortunately, my camera decided to quit, so you won't be seeing my face for your own benefit, I assume, for next few minutes. So honestly, that makes us being able to just do that and give you a bit more of screen real estate, and we will continue that while my camera is cooling down. Unfortunately, we had a camera overheat. I'll solve it soon, but for now, you need to bear with us with the technical abilities we've got, right? Okay. So we're moving into penthouse, and as I said, sir, if you actually watch this live stream and looking to buy a penthouse at Address Al Marjan Island, I will forfeit um, half of my commission towards a car of your choice. Reach out now, okay? Um, so this is the first layout. Pretty cool how it's separated into master bedroom and amenities kind of area, and all the guest bedrooms are tucked away. So the owner can get some rest from the guests visiting, because that's a normal expectation for the people owning penthouses. Otherwise, nothing too special. There's a lot of utility spaces. Due to it being a hotel-based apartment, really doesn't have any spaces for maid's bedroom and maid facilities, but you don't need that. You can just order hotels cleaning services, and they'll come in and do whatever you need, and even probably get you out a chef for some event if you need. So type 1A. Sorry, going back. Oh, it's skipping us. Okay. Let me just do the right thing and type 1A is absolutely fine. It's the same layout. Once again, it's a penthouse. You don't get much choice, right? The weird thing is you get hotel views from the bedrooms, from some bedrooms, and you get roadside views from some bedrooms, but yeah, I mean, it's penthouse and it's huge, so they probably couldn't fit everything facing the sea, but both balconies are facing the sea. And you can see that VIP suite as well gets in their own balcony, but master doesn't. Once again, very questionable layout in my mind, but probably some people would like it this way. Once again, it's what you get. It's not like they're gonna have a lot of penthouse changes. Going on to the interesting bit is where we can, one I actually haven't even tried to look into before the stream because it just came in a few hours ago, is the townhouse layouts. So here we're dealing with two levels. Obviously, lower level is the entertainment, kitchen, patio. Upper level is the bedrooms. So this is the type 1 townhouse. As you can see, with townhouses with 2 bedrooms, you get massive patio and you get more of an obstructed sea view from the lower levels. And then you get private balcony for each of the bedrooms, which is incredible as well. Um, let's go to the Type 2. Type 2, as you can tell, is almost identical. Wait, am I confusing something? Yeah, no, Type 2 is completely different. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. The upper level is very similar, but they managed to fit a third bedroom onto the ground floor. How private, how nice that would be to just have a random bedroom just entering the living room and foyer in the townhouse setting is to be questioned. Definitely, I would hate living in a bedroom which is at the ground floor with the windows going into the common terrace. I would absolutely not have it this way. I would just walk across the street and check into the hotel if that would be the case, but I assume some people would find it fine, but once again, I don't believe this is a very attractive layout. This one is arguably worse, but arguably better. Worse because you don't get any patio, better because your third bedroom is not walking into the common patio. So it's at least a little more private. Makes more sense because I feel like you kind of end up losing this patio or losing windows in one of your bedrooms if you get the previous layout. We are looking into yeah. So sorry about that. Had to get distracted. So yeah, that's all we've got. The Type 4 is another two-bedroom. It's essentially mirrored off the previous two-bedroom in the Type 1. It seems a little wider with, once again, a fairly small patio compared to the Type 1. So Type 1 is the best townhouse for two bedrooms. Simple as that. Type 2 is cheap, would be cheaper, but would be less preferable. So that is the case. Let me see if my let's see if my ability to show myself restored and if we can be able to continue, because I'm still in the background. I'm still fighting my camera. We'll see if it starts filming. Honestly, if somebody creates a camera with built-in USB 4K transmission, they will make, like a professional camera, they will make a lot of money. If you're looking for business ideas, here's one. You'll sell a lot. Anyway, I think we're not making a lot of progress on the camera. So we'll come back to nice images of the development. And we'll use that as a backdrop for us talking if we have anybody asking questions here and interested in details about maybe our agency, maybe this development, maybe something else in general. I just honestly have solid 10 minutes to answer some questions. Um, well, we're not really. Yeah. Anyway, let me see if we get any questions. I need to go into our metrics and our social media, but um, judging by the things around. Let me see. Do we have anybody in the chat? Let me check the Twitch and let me check the Facebook while my colleague will help me with Instagram if that's going on. Okay, nobody asking questions whatsoever. I think. Yeah. I think we're all clear on the question front. I will be trying still to Yep, unfortunately, we had some technical issues, but oh well. Oh well, we really had them only towards the end, and we discussed everything we wanted. I'm still going to be happy to answer in the chat while I'm packing, but I think we'll be ending the stream. Thank you to everyone who viewed the stream. We'll be back with more info on the launches specifically in Dubai and throughout the rest of Emirates very soon. But this one is coming up. If you're watching this in pre-recorded format and it's past the 30th, trust me, you need to contact us ASAP to get this one.